Welcome back to the Ironworker Gaming channel for another episode of 5 Games With, a series where we pick a new weapon each week, quickly analyze it and break down its damage, take it into the Crucible for 5 matches, and discuss how things went. You can laugh at my errors, learn from my mistakes, celebrate my small victories. I really don't care what you do, I'm just happy that you decided to take a few minutes out of your day to spend them with me. Up this week is the exotic 5-round burst pulse rifle, Vigilance Wing, which was recently given deterministic recoil. So the bursts fired from this weapon should pattern out a bit more consistently. It does have a pretty decent stat line, most notably the range and stability, but the catalyst was reworked a while back, giving this weapon ensemble, so it will see improved handling and reload speed when allies are nearby. The exotic perk, The Last Stand, can boost this weapon even further, but that's not something we're going to see heading into 6s. The Harsh Truce intrinsic trait is something that we're going to be able to take advantage of though. When a nearby ally is killed, our Guardian gets improved health regen and movement speed. Moving on to Vigilance Wing's updated damage profile. Crits are showing for 27 and body shots 16. Due to number rounding, I'm figuring that these are closer to 26.7 and 15.94. I'm not going to sell you the extended warranty on them, but they're close. Working through the resilience tiers manually with Mrs. Ironworker and getting the bullet combo sorted to get these numbers dialed in was a nightmarishly tedious process. It is possible that I could have made a small error, but the resilience breaks that I'm about to give you were tested and do work out. Our optimal time to kill I have coming in at 0.77 seconds with 9 shots. Versus tier 10 resilience, this will take 9 consecutive crits. Versus most resilience tiers, you can go 8 crit in 1 body, but if you do happen to come up against a low resilience Guardian, you can eke out a 7 and 2. For the body shot time to kill, right between tier 6 and 7 is the resilience break. Versus Guardians running tier 6 or lower, you can down those players with 14 shots in as little as 1.33 seconds. Tier 7 or higher, you will need to land 3 full bursts, so 15 shots which can be achieved in roughly 1.4 seconds. Another thing to note, for a long time Vigilance Wing did enjoy the ability to down Guardians with a 50-52 burst. 5 crits, 5 bodies would sit down Guardians at most resilience tiers. Now you're going to need 6 crit 4 body versus tier 6 or less, 7 and 3 for anything above that. For Vigilance Wing's physical range, if you can keep yourself within the 37 meter mark, you will hit for full damage. But remember, pulse rifles do have a shallow damage fall off, so even 10 meters back from its optimal engagement window, it's only losing about 15% of its maximum damage. Alright, now that we're all surface level Vigilance Wing experts, let's get into the matches. As usual, I will be on my Voidwalker Warlock, which is pretty much ingrained in my very existence at this point because I think the subclass is fun, and that's why I play video games. My weapons will be getting a little help from Ophidian Aspect, providing a handling, reload, and airborne effectiveness boost, with a little more assistance coming from a couple of kinetic targeting, unflinching, and surge mods. Selecting an offhand weapon to pair with Vigilance Wing was a little tricky because it already covers most engagement ranges pretty well, except for maybe extreme close. So I took the heliocentric sidearm. Now, historically, the thought of equipping most sidearms gave me acid reflux, but it did come highly recommended to me from Lego LaFlash, and he hasn't let me down yet, so we'll give it a whirl. But of course, the point of this video is to try and make use of Vigilance Wing whenever feasible. First match of the session was on Vostok, and I was off to my typical cold start. 1.22 efficiency rating, at least I didn't go sub 1, but I just couldn't get it going overall, which unfortunately was going to be a reoccurring theme here. The next round on Midtown was statistically probably my best round of the session, but I'm kinda torn as to how much of this was due to just having decent teammates or my own personal performance. Match 3 on Ultra Flame was probably the one that I did feel the best about. Now, we did get stomped. We had AFK players, levers, probably were just outmatched from the get-go, but I fought damn hard in this match for every inch of ground. I took my fair share of licks in the process, but I did walk away knowing that I did all I could. Match 4 on Eternity probably should have been more of the same. Player for player, I do think we were outclassed, but we had one Guardian named Cheetah, who I've heard mentioned before as an elite PvP player, which I can confirm, that dropped 40 on a 4-0, basically making up for any of our team's shortcomings. Match 5 was on Widow's Court, not exactly my favorite map, and I would have liked to end on a positive note, but no such luck. The enemy team rolled us pretty hard. Overall, it was just a pretty unremarkable 5 games. But I mean, that's kind of the point of the series. I try to be transparent and give you the good with the bad. But regarding Vigilance Wing, in the times that I did get it rolling, I was liking what I was seeing. There are going to be better weapons out there for more highly skilled or adept Crucible players, but I think it is good in the ways that could benefit average Guardians. It gets bullets down range, 5-round burst, reasonably accurate, no damage drop off till over 35 meters. You see an enemy, let those bullets fly, some are probably going to find their mark. And even if you don't have a snowball's chance in hell of securing the kill, just tagging an enemy with a few rounds can make your teammates' lives a lot easier. Then the true optimal time to kill of 0.77 seconds is a bit hard to hit, but that 0.83 second 2 burst is just marginally slower, still moderately competitive, and much easier to wrap your head around. And hitting a pure body shot time to kill of 1.33 or 1.4 depending on resilience is just 1 burst away. Now, that's not fast by any means, but it is forgiving, and it does kill faster than banging away at the body with precision based weapons. So if you can't hit heads, maybe use this instead. Doo-doo-ch. Okay, I'm done. Plus, Vigilance Wing does provide a lot of range versatility. It handles most of our standard engagements quite well. You do need to be wary if an enemy closes a gap on you, and you don't want to be off dueling at scout rifle ranges, but from like medium close to mid-long, pretty good. It does kind of feel like Vigilance Wing lands in an odd spot in the current sandbox though. The 5-round burst nature of the weapon does kind of make you commit to your gunfights. Which, I mean, if you can land all your bullets, no problem. But if you're not quite that accurate, it can get picked apart by weapons like hand cannons and their ability to peak shot. And then, it's not the premier stand and bang weapon currently. While they are slated for a nerf in the future, in their current state, 450 autos with their ease of use very much do feel like they outclass Vigilance Wing in the mid-range. They're tough to deal with, and if things go past your second burst, it could spell trouble. All in all though, while I wouldn't put Vigilance Wing up in the amazing category, I think it still can be a good, sturdy, reliable weapon for players looking to find some footing in Destiny 2's PvP. Regarding next week's 5 games video, I am going to hand select one more weapon, but then I will start running weekly polls and let you decide what we're going to try going forward. So don't flood me with requests just yet, but after next week's video, feel free to let them rip. But that's another 5 games with in the books. Have a great day, Guardians, and I'll catch you on the next one.